Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Al Stock Trades. First off, my apologies for making a live this late. It's 11:15 p.m. here in Arizona. I literally just got back from work about an hour and a half ago. And got to wake up tomorrow at 4 a.m. and be out the door at 4:30 a.m. So, 4 to 5 hours, less than that, less than 4 hours of sleep. So, you got to respect the hustle, right? We got to grind. There's people on here that are awake. And as people are sleeping, you guys here are learning so we can continue moving forward and make money, right? So while people sleep, we eat, right? And this is, this is the community in which we breed, right? So what's going on, Edie Flores? What's going on, Clover to Retirement? Yeah, I saw your name. I love it, man. I actually saw it this morning. I started cracking up. Couldn't have the opportunity to respond because I'm back to the clinical duties. No problem here for you. Trump killing the oh man, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. Let's go, baby. Google Health. All right. I love you too, Ed Flores. All right. So in this video, we're going to go ahead, and this is going to be a very important video. Okay. So we're going to talk about counterpart health partners with Google Cloud to improve clinical data access for physicians. There's Google. We're going to go ahead, talk about the overall stock market dynamics of what's happening in regards to the tariffs and kind of if we are nearing a bottom. I also recommend my subscribers to watch this 11-minute video that talks about why nursing homes and hospice are so expensive in the U.S. and the baby boomer crisis. We're going to go ahead and touch up on it. I have a report, my notes in terms of telling you kind of what this is, what this video talks about and my take on it and how that directly impacts Clover Health. This is going to be a pretty good video. Definitely, if you do like it, go ahead and hit it with a thumbs up and a subscribe. And also for folks that are interested, we're still running the flash sale, $500 off coupon code with everything we offer from our Al Stock Trades platform. Now, what I would like to do really quickly is I'm just going to go for a sec. And I'm going to take about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm going to walk over, turn on the fan, because I'm hot as hell. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. No editing here, guys. This is like raw. But again, you guys don't come here for the editing. You come here for the analysis, right? So, all right. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about the overall stock price. So we're at $3.64. What the hell is going on, right? So today we're down 8.31%. 5 days we're down 12.5%. 1 month we're down 18%. 6 months we're up 26%. Year to date we're still up 16.29%, which is outperforming the stock, S&P 500. On a year date return, we got the 33333, baby, right? 333.33%. And obviously, from a long-term perspective, we are still down from the SPAC days. And you could see ultimately, I told you, whoops, what the hell is this? It's that line right there, that $5 line that needs to be crossed. You know what I mean? And once that happens, things are going to change. But the question I pose to you now is, let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-day return for Clover, Humana, and Alignment Healthcare. And I want you to basically see if you can notice a pattern. So for the past 5 days, Clover Health is down 12.5%. Humana in the past 5 days is actually up 2.5%, 2.59%. And then Alignment Healthcare in the past 5 days is actually up 15.05%. So what's going on here? Why is Clover Health down while all these other ones are up? Well, before I answer the question, and I think you're going to come to the same conclusion, let's go ahead and take a look at Palantir. Palantir for the past 5 days has been down 7.92%, right? So and obviously that's a big market cap change because it is a big market cap company of $189.95 billion in market cap, right? So, stock price doesn't mean anything. It's the amount of outstanding shares that it's multiplied with to equate to market cap, right? And that's one thing that retail investors fail on, right? People have been invested over 5-10 years in the market and they can't even answer you this simple question, which is upsetting, right? We even have lifetime members making this mistake, and I pointed out because it's not called mastering for just advertisement, right? You will become a master, right? And if you don't, I'm hardcore, right? When it comes to the Discord, right? If you guys talk, I challenge you guys, right? I mean, you're not here. Like, what are we here for? Are we here just to paddle our feet and bullshit? No, You're here to you're here to grow. You paid this platform, and this platform is here to make you grow, right? That's the point. And I'm going to push you as hard as can. And that's how it is. You don't like it, then this is not the right platform, right? We want to make money here. We want to be all millionaires, and this is it. Go to the top places. There's chefs. You're gonna get Chef Ramsay yelling at you. Go to the top places for Wall Street, you can have someone yell at you. Go to the top places for neurosurgery, you can have them freaking yell at you. Go to Kobe Bryant. You're gonna have some crazy work ethic. And if you want to strive for the best, there's always suffering, right? That is what creates character. Okay, all right. So the point that I'm basically trying to see here is that Clover now is running with the technology stocks. It's not running with the healthcare stocks. And what better day to showcase that than with this partnership regarding Google, right? With the Counterpart Health partners with Google Cloud to improve clinical data access for physicians. That's incredible. So now we talked about all of this. Let's go back to our technical analysis. Now, if you don't recall, if you look at our past videos, remember that little box I drew and I said, hey, this is the support I'm drawing out by all stock trades. This is a support buy zone. This is your buy zone. And what you're basically seeing now in this buy zone is we're hitting it. We're in the buy zone territory. And I'm very, very bullish about this. And guys, this was the earnings, Q4. Here's your little E here. Let's look at what happened to the last E. This was the last earnings report. And it went ahead and hustled right around that purple line. Yeah, we're a little lower, but still we're in that buy territory and we're, hitting this level of potential support. But this is, well known. We had earnings. It fell down to the RSI at literally right around 27 to 30. And look what's happening right now. Look what's happening. We are hitting an RSI now nearing that. We're about to touch the oversold lower part of the RSI. Guys, I told you, I want this to go down. The faster it goes down, the better. And you can see right now, it's touching here. It's touching here. Right? Stocks go up, then they recalibrate. They go up a little bit and they recalibrate. So we may have a recalibration bounce coming off by potential maybe retesting of the low RSI, or may just go back up to being oversold again, right? But the point is this is highly predictable, and this is all part of a healthy stock movement, okay? This is nothing new, okay? Nothing freaking new, right? And you can see the MACD. So we're waiting for that MACD signal cross, and you can see, hello there, hello. You could see that the calibration as it crossed, it took time. So there's an equilibration period, and we're going to get to that equilibration period, which is the accumulation phase again, right? So we're going to go get to that, right? There's multiple parts of these phases, okay? So market is brutal. Hate that we are closer to 3.5. Hopefully we bounce and get back to the 4 soon and restart our ascent. Absolutely. Hopefully this technical analysis kind of gives you a little bit of solace. Seems like all good news, but price goes down. Yeah, I know, exactly. So hopefully me explaining this to you gives you a 30,000 view, right? Because, sometimes it's hard, to kind of go into the intraday of things and you just kind of forget the overall 30,000 foot picture. You remember the dog that's basically sailing on a boat? That's pretty much, what I'm doing right now, right? You're probably going over the dilution. What? You're probably going over the dilution. Any thoughts on that? And how does that look ahead? I don't know about dilution, my friend. Clover Health just became free cash flow positive for the first time, meaning that they can sustain business operations. So I don't know about that, but if you can go ahead and give me some data points, we can go ahead and discuss. I'm all about data, guys. I'm data. I'm data driven. I'm more data driven than Jerome Powell, right? Hopefully we go lower. I'd sell a few more puts. Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, if you like Clover, at 487, then you'll like it right now. I mean, that's kind of the common sense, right? So very quickly, this is a direct message to Austin. Austin, this is right now at 10 minutes, around in 10 minutes mark. So very quickly, we went ahead and did a upgrade for the AL stock trades table for the AL stock trades terminal. We now not only include the historical of all the revenues, gross margins, free cash flows. We now include the historic in our premium AL stock trades terminal. We now include the price earnings and price to sales ratio of this. Now, this is only for annual and not quarterly, okay? We're going to be going ahead and putting in that upgrade soon, but right now you have the PE and PS ratio in which you can go ahead and select these buttons here and be able to graph it. This is a very powerful tool, okay? Now, what I would like to do, and the reason why I'm calling you out, Austin, and I know that, Austin is not your real name, so it's okay. That's why I'm comfortable using the name. So Austin, what I would like to basically point out is to access to quarterly price to sales and price to earnings and all the ratios, you hit the forward slash. Well, first off, before I get to head myself, you want to go ahead and obviously this is kind of the welcome page for the stock terminal. This is the stock terminal. So beautiful, right? So you're going to go down here and you're going to go scroll all the way down to software, right? So again, as a lifetime access member, you get access to multiple softwares. This is the stock terminal software, which is part of the subscription package. The premium software is part of the lifetime package, right? But so you go down to the software and you select any of these, right? You're going to see members do their due diligence, look at kind of the algo flow, all these things that we can't really talk about because there's just not a lot of time in the day. But we all have it in the data here. So what you do is you go ahead and in the little text box here, you go ahead and put a forward slash from your from your keyboard, right, that you're using for your computer. You go ahead and press help. And what that'll do is that'll open up, so forward slash help. And what that'll do is that'll open up the help menu, okay? Now, you're going to have a bunch of these buttons. You're going to go ahead and click Stock Fundamental Analysis. You click on this. And when you have this, you're going to get in all of these things, right? So now these are your ratios. You can get the trailing 12 months ratios, the annual financial ratios, the quarterly company financial ratios. So you were asking for the quarterly. So as of now, if you want to use the stock terminal brain machine, which is our proprietary data provided by AL Stock, Al Stock Trades, you go in and all you got to do is just put / QF ratios. But all you could do is you could just kind of click it. And then you could go ahead and press Apple, let's say, and you click this. And then what's going to happen is Brain Machine is thinking. And then it'll give you kind of the price to fair value. It'll give you the price to book ratio, price to sales, price to earnings, price to cash flow. Price to free cash flow, price to operating free cash flow, price to cash flow ratio, price earnings to growth ratio, price to sales ratio. So it gives you a bunch of these ratios, right? You got the debt to equity ratio. So you click all the way to the top here and it'll kind of organize it in, let's say, a Q1 of 2025, et cetera. So I wanted to take this moment to just kind of, instead of just putting this on an email, just say, I'm going to just tag you with this video and say, hey, look at minute 10 to like around 13. So hopefully that's good. I just want to kill two birds, one stone, and also show people that, things that they have access to. So now that we went ahead and did that, now let's go ahead and look at the AA double I bulls, right? So this measures how many bulls are in the market. And guys, there is no bulls left, guys. Look at the bulls, man. The bulls have left, right? Excuse me. Hold on, I got a cough. That's pretty funny, right? So the last time we saw bull levels this low was back in 2022, 2023, and 2016. All great times to get into the market, right? Now let's look at how many bears are in the market. Holy crap, man! Look at that. Look at how many bears are in the market, guys. The last time we had this many bears, the double I bears, the last time we had this again was around 2022, 2023. But also check this out. It was also around right here, which is the great financial crisis. So a lot of people are scared as hell right now. They're like, oh my God, we're going to go into recession. Oh, right. So there's a lot going on here. Okay. A lot. Okay. So that's something that we were measuring. But here's the thing. Historically, whenever it's this high, as you can see from this high angle point, you can see it. There's a dip and it's a great time to buy. You see there's a high right there. That's a dip. That's a great time to buy. And now we have this little, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a little dip, but it's a great time to buy, right? So there's that. So now what I want to do really quickly is before we go to talk about Counterpart, I want to talk about America's aging population and senior care crisis. So I'm going to kind of read this real quickly because there's a lot of data points here. Again, if you want to watch the video, I recommend basically watching it here. But overall, just my takeaway points. So there's about 69 million baby boomers that are aging, about 21% of the population, and they're essentially holding about half of the nation's wealth, and they're entering long-term care facilities, right? So the senior care industry is struggling with labor shortages, rising costs, and government underfunding. Over 62,000 nursing homes and beds have been lost since 2020, with only 774 nursing homes closing, right? So there's a lot of issues, right? So one thing I want to basically just focus in terms of for you to listen to is there are two main categories. There's long-term care and there's end-of-life care, which a lot of people call hospice, right? So long-term care includes nursing homes, assisted living, and home-based care, which is kind of going back to Clover Health's value-based home-based care. That industry is about $577 billion, right? Versus hospice, palliative care, it's projected to grow around 14.5 billion to 26 billion in 2032. Now, obviously, the bigger market here is long-term care. And you can imagine why, and that's your home-based value care, which is what Clover is tackling. But not a lot of people are putting this together, and that's why I kind of want to give you this holistic perspective as an intelligent investor. Okay, so there's rising costs. Private nursing homes are around 116,000, and then in-home care is around 75,000 per year. There's a difference between Medicaid and Medicare. Just we're going to go over it really briefly. Medicaid is state and federal aid for low-income individuals under 65. It funds about 44% of long-term care. I think it's, yeah, right. So Medicare is federal insurance for 65 plus seniors, funds about 20%. Hospice care, about 90% of U.S. hospice patients are Medicare beneficiaries. And policies often favor institutional care over home-based due to funding structure, right? So here's the issue, right? Private equity has entered healthcare, and it really has caused physicians kind of to really be upset because, it really is kind of crap because the patient is getting the low end of the stick. So there's increasing investments from public companies and private equity firms. Since 2015, 47 private equity firms acquired 125 U.S. hospices. Hospice care is now 75% for profit. And when you go to the government website, you really can't determine whether it's for profit or nonprofit. So it's really hard. You really got to really dig deep. And unfortunately, it's something that not a lot of Americans are equipped with a 6th grade reading level. So they get taken advantage of. So private equity prefers high margins, low cost care models. So they like your dementia patients over your cancer patients. And it's really unfortunate, hospice care is profitable. Medicare pays a fixed per diem rate, regardless of what they do. So they don't have to do anything and they would still get the same amount of money, which is unfortunate. So there's a lot of cost cutting for these private equities to lower staffing, inadequate symptom management, and increased hospital visits. Now, the increased hospital visits is actually pretty big because Clover, I'm going to underline this actually. So Clover Health remember, it helps decrease hospitalizations, which ultimately helps decrease costs. So, I mean, Clover can be used in this setting as well, but I'm just telling you, it's kind of messed up, right? This whole situation, profiting off of the sick in a way that is just, it just shows you how vulture-like Wall Street is, and and how what people would do for a buck, right? So in terms of patient selection, hospice agencies prefer neurological diagnosis, dementia over cancer patients due to cost difference. Nursing homes favor short-term Medicare stays, higher reimbursements over long-term Medicaid residents. So there's lack of transparency. There's rising financial burden. Retirees are instructed to save $165,000 just for healthcare, which is unfortunate because most people don't have this type of money, which is really, really sad. So the big takeaways here is America's unprepared for the senior care crisis. The private sector is profiting from the government-funded senior care, which hopefully Doge and they might be able to do something about that. But again, I remain skeptical. Families face high costs, lack of transparency because of, they don't know which is for profit or not, and then difficult decisions. Early financial planning obviously is essential. So that's why people that are watching this, that's why I'm teaching financial literacy. That's why I'm showing you how to invest and do intrinsic value calculations. That's why a lot of people that join our platform, the AL Stock Trades platform, a lot of them become multimillionaires because I'm teaching you exactly what Wall Street does. Now, here's the problem, right? A lot of people, and I've seen these comments before. I've seen these comments, and I get it, right? They say, Al, how could you invest in healthcare insurance? How could you even be an investor in Wall Street? You should boycott Wall Street. How could you be part of this devilish game? How could you even play a part, right? Why would you even do that? Like, how could you sell yourself? You're a sellout, right? Right. So these are the comments I've seen. And, I assume you guys are mumbling in your minds and out loud saying that's, whatever, that your opinion you have, but I think your opinion lines with me. So I'm going to give an example to those folks, and I get where you're coming from. So let me go ahead and give an example. Okay. And this is a pretty vulgar example, right? And as someone who came from homelessness, who came from the bottom, I want to go ahead and give this example, please. Okay. So I like to use this quote: each one teach one, each one reach one. So each one you teach one, each one you reach one. So this is not my quote. It's an African proverb. And the African Americans that were in the United States during the time of slavery, the ones that were able to read the Bible and actually read and speak, they were the ones that had the obligation to teach. And what they were doing is they were teaching young black folks how to read and write and think for oneself. And the common saying they used to say to one another is each one teach one, each one reach one. For every person you teach is a person that you've reached. And for that person has to teach others, almost biblical, like the disciples, right? So the argument is, why would you even want to speak their language? Why would you even want to go and become part of their system and adhere to their culture, right? The problem is if you don't do that, then you would never have upward mobility. Another example, let's say, there's a lot of nepotism in medicine, right? Especially neurosurgery, right? There's a lot of nepotism, right? And it is what it is, right? Doctors of doctors of doctors, right? So what is the argument here? How could you go to college? How could you educate yourself and play a part in this devilish game and go in that arena? Well, because so you can become part of them and be able to change policy. So the argument that basically say, well, how could you invest in Wall Street? How could you invest in this Medicare game? Well, what do you want us to do? The rich are going to do this. So who do you want to be wealthy? Do you want those bastards to be wealthy that don't care about you? Or do you want the retail community, your neighbors, your brothers and sisters, the people that struggle from 9 to 5 working to freaking, keep their home from getting foreclosed? You want those people to win, or do you want those people to go belly up and just get screwed by the 1%, right? So that's my argument to you, right? And stop being hypocritical, right? So buying the dip, I'm still a millionaire. Thanks to Al. I appreciate you. Teach me grapple, Coach Brian, Cobra Kai, right? Fight fire with fire. And that's what we are trying to do, right? We have to fight fire with fire. This is their system. I'm teaching you their system. Once we all become multimillionaires, we already have a net worth of $44 million plus in the AL stock trades, in the Al stock trades platform, AL stock trades platform, right? So what's going to happen in the next 10 years? We're going to most likely go to $1 billion in net worth, right? And how much power you think we're going to have then, right? How much influence you think we're going to have then, right? How much of you can influence politicians because of your money and the fact that you have the purse of Wall Street, right? Retail deserves to win, and that's the power of our platform. Okay, so now we talked about this American aging population and the senior crisis. We're going to go ahead and do a market talk, but real quick, I know you guys are anxious. Let's talk about the Counterpart Health Partners with Google Cloud. Okay, so let's go ahead. Here's my analysis. Let's take a quick intermediate. Let me go drink some water. I'm going to put on some waiting music for just give me about a second so I can drink some water. It's late at night, guys. I need to drink some water. Hold on. Albert Allen's got the secrets in his hand. Retail heroes taking over this land. Trading stocks with a master plan. Fortunes rising on the Clover brand. Numbers rolling, deals never stop. Bulls are charging, markets gonna pop. Albert's wisdom higher than the top. With Clover Health, we'll hit the jackpot. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gone sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, Al puts us on hold with the Clove song. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Just needed to drink some water because I'm trying to read this to you guys because this is really, I mean, the fact that I drank some water, it shows you how important this is. This is very important. Like, I need to drink some water. right? This is important because I can't fudge this up. I need to read this. I don't like to read, okay? Especially something I've already read before. All right, so here's the biggest thought. Here's the biggest concern I've had. I'm going to put this in red. Okay, my thoughts. Interesting. They're not the insurance provider, so it's hard for them to get this data because they're working on the virtual software integrator. This might actually help with this issue they have. So the reason why Clover Health has been so successful with its MCR is because they are the insurance provider. They have every time a doctor, cardiologist, or whatever orders something, it has to go through them for approval in a way, right? So they know exactly what the patient gets. So their Clover Assistant is able to help. My issue is with the Counterpart Assistant platform, they're not the insurance provider. So I was like, well, how are they going to be able to get all that data? This solves the issue. Holy crap, right? So let's go ahead and talk about it, right? So Counterpart Health, an AI-powered platform for doctors, has joined forces with Google Cloud to enhance. Let me just zoom in a little bit so people can see, right? All right, has it enhanced its Counterpart Assistant tool. This upgrade integrates Google Cloud's Vertex AI search, making it easier for doctors to find and analyze patient health data from over 100 sources. So I break this down in my own words in a way that's easier and gives examples. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stop and talk about my experience as someone who's going to be a doctor in holy crap, in 2 months, 2 to 3 months. What? Crazy. Okay. 2 to 3 months. All right. Sorry, guys. It's dawning on me. All right. So previously, physicians had to search through multiple systems to access patient records, slowing down decision making. With this new AI-powered system, all relevant medical data like lab results, discharge summaries, medication records can now be found in one place. Holy shit. Holy crap. All the doctors in the chat, all the doctors that are watching our platform, comment down below. Right? You probably are sleeping now, but tomorrow when you watch the video, comment down below. You tell me what you think about that. Right? The AI also provides concise evidence-backed insights. Holy crap. Oh my God. Oh my God. Again, I'm in healthcare. I'm going to be a medical doctor in 2 to 3 months. I'm telling you, this is huge. Huge. You understand? Oh God, you guys have no idea. You guys have no friggin'. Please, everyone, the nurses in the chat, communicate to them how huge this is. Allowing doctors to quickly gather the information they need while reducing administrative work. So let me give you a day in a life as a medical student who is in his clinical training, which is the same thing as residency. They do this on purpose, so we're ready for residency. It's called transition to residency. So I wake up in the morning, guys. It's huge, right? It's huge. Okay. So let me give you an example. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up at 4. Okay. I have to get to work. So about 4:30, I'm going to be there, 4:35. I have to essentially, so we round at 6. Okay. So let me tell you. Okay. So let's talk. We go in, I open up Cerner. I look at the patient. I look at acute overnight events. What has happened? I go speak to the nurse. What has happened to my patient overnight? Oh, patient had a fever. Oh, patient had a this and this and that. I had to give him some extra pain meds. Oh, right? And then I go in. I go check any overnight documentations from the night team. Right? Obviously, I get sign out, right? Right? Then I go in and I check for any other doctor communication that from yesterday and overnight on the document setting. Okay. I have to click on all that crap, right? Then I go to the results section. Then I have to look at every lab data, click on it, graph it, give me a range. I have to write down the range, especially in the ICU setting. Then I have to click on another tab where I have to go in, take a look at the other labs, urine labs. I have to click on another tab to look at the imaging. Are you getting the point? I'm not making this up. Are you getting this point? Imagine now you have all of this, give it to you, and you can maybe organize it how you want it to give to you. And you could say, I want it to be reported in this spectrum. You see, the problem with AI is there's hallucinations, but if you take what it's really good at, and as someone who does research in AI is really good. And God, by the way, our platform out the premium out stock trades terminal, it uses AI. The beauty of AI is that it's really good at taking unstructured data and structuring it without hallucinations. It's so good at that, guys. You have no idea, right? So this will definitely reduce administrative work. I don't have to click on a bunch of crap, which means that I can get the data I need. I have my own assistant, hence why counterpart assistant. Hello, right? I can get this counterpart assistant and it gives me what I need. So instead of taking an hour and a half getting all this freaking information, it just gives it to me. And I know exactly what's wrong with my patient. So then I can go to my freaking patient, something that I've always wanted to do, but yet this administrative burnout that we have that unfortunately constitutes to doctors spending nearly 28 hours a week on administrative tasks and 82% report burnout. Let me give you an example. 28 hours a week. Take 28 and divide that by 7 days. Guys, that's 4 hours a day on administrative tasks. What did I tell you? I spent around 1 hour to 2 hours. Why do I spend 2 hours? Because I like to read fast with my technology, right? And also, since I'm a medical student, I don't see as many patients as other providers because I'm a medical student. So that's why it's reduced for me, right? For when it came to the near ICU, I saw actually more than normal. I saw like 6-7 patients. But again, I'm crazy. But that took me 2 hours and a half, right? And then in the afternoon, in the afternoon I have to write my notes, right? So then that takes me another 2 hours. Imagine if this thing can write your notes too, right? So you understand how much that will save. This is a huge deal. You're saving doctors from doing BS work that does not contribute to talking to the patient. It's data collection. It's annoying. Okay? For God's sakes, the attendings have the medical students get it. We're the counterpart assistant for the attendings. You know what I'm saying? All right? God, right? So this is amazing. We don't even need medical students anymore. Fire the medical students, right? All right. So previously, physicians had to search through multiple systems to access patient records, slowing down decision-making. Because again, I need this data so I can make a freaking decision. And I can't, again, I'm speaking for folks that don't know, I'm going to be a doctor in 2 to 3 months. That's why I know this. That's why I know this, right? This is what I do every day, right? I need to make a decision. I need to make an assessment and plan. There's something called subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. Subjective is what the patient says. Objective is the data in your physical exam, the lab reports and whatnot. And then you create your assessment and your plan. And the plan, that's where the doctor thinking is. That's what we love to do. I love the plan. God, getting the lab report and data is annoying, right? So then now you have this new AI-powered system, all relevant medical data like lab results, discharge summaries, and medication records. So now the pharmacist is going to be happy now because we don't even need a freaking pharmacist anymore, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I love this pharmacist I work with. I love you, right? She's a watcher of the channel. You know what I'm saying? So, but we don't even, oh my God. Holy crap. Imagine medication reconciliation to all my doctors. Imagine doing a MedRec, right? Medication reconciliation with this AI power tool. Holy crap. Discharge summaries. You can figure out why were they, what happened in the last hospitalization. Now it can be found in one place. So this AI also provides concise evidence-based insights. Dude, this is crazy, right? Allowing doctors to quickly gather information they need while reducing administrative work. So here's the key benefits. All-in-one access, right? Just like our platform for the AL stock trades, right? You got everything. You got your technical analysis, your fundamental analysis, your community. It's all everything in your educational system, all in one roof. So doctors can view patient records from multiple sources in one unified system. AI-powered search. Physicians can ask natural language questions and get a clear context-aware answers. Guys, why do you think DeepSeek was Andrew Toy in his LinkedIn post talked about DeepSeek being actually bullish? Because then it makes these natural language processing APIs cheap for him to use. Okay. It's hard for me to, I wish I drew this out. You know what? Okay. You know what? I'll draw it out later. Okay. You know what? How about this? Drawing tool. Let's see if we can find some free drawing tool here. Oh, you remember this one? This was our investing in home. It still remembers. Damn. Okay. Let's open up a new page. Let's do a new page. What is this? All right, good. So let's do the pen. I'm going to draw this. And this is, I'm going to call it F. This, I'm going to just spell it. This is I'm going to just break, right? This is called a fridge. We'll just spell it, right? So this is called a fridge. This, I spelled it. I spelled it wrong. I mixed the D and the G. I don't know how to draw with this. Okay, so. Oh God, that looks so terrible. That's a fridge. Okay, all right. So whoever made the fridge did not make money. What made money is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola made money because it used the fridge's intelligence of essentially cooling down the beverage, which is why if you go to cola stock, Coca-Cola, KO, oh my God, the market cap is $311 billion for a freaking sugar water, right? So let me explain to you the analogy here. LLMs are like the fridge. They're, it's not Google's big business. Google's business is advertisement. Microsoft business is other softwares. LLMs are being democratized now, right? You got ChatGPT with OpenAI and Microsoft. You got Google Gemini. You got Facebook Llama. You got Anthropic with Clyde, Sonnet 3.7 AI. You got now Elon Musk with his Grok, right? Everyone has their own LLMs. Everyone has a fridge. GM has a fridge. Samsung has a fridge. So now what you're doing is, the question now is, what is the new Coca-Cola? What are the technologies like Coca-Cola that uses the fridge to make money? Another one is Kraft ketchup, right? The whole freaking meat industry, right? So what is the next Coca-Cola? Okay, well, we found one, PLTR, Palantir, right? And I think this next one is going to be CLOV. Why? Because they're using large language models to create something new. They're using the fridge to make the beverage cold. And this is what's happening right now. I hope you understand what this means. Comment down below. Say, Al, I understand. This little diagram is going to make you freaking rich. This thought process is going to make you a lot of money. You understand what I'm saying? Drop a I understand if you freaking understand. Okay. So there's that. So verified insights, the AI highlights key information and provides citations to support its recommendations. Huge, right? Let me double check. Right? Expand citations, clinical evidence citations. Huge. Okay. Al, I understand. Rich is my English name. Nobody like hot Coke. Exactly. Who the hell? I love to drink a hot Coke. You got something wrong with you, homeboy. Right? Melissa said it's higher than her. Oh God. Okay. Oh, come on, guys. You got me. Almost read that. Right. I understand how to spell. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's late at night. It's late at night, right? But I checked myself. I knew I looked off. I'm like, that doesn't look like a fridge to me. All right. So time savings, automate data gathering, helping doctors spend less time on paperwork and more with the patient. I just said that. Okay. So how technology improves healthcare. So integrating Vertex AI search into a Counterpart Assistant unlocks new capabilities to transform how doctors work, right? Here are the top 5 improvements. So complete patient records in one place. What it does, combines medical data from multiple sources in a single view. Why it matters. Doctors get a full picture of the patient's health without switching between systems, make it easier to diagnose and treat conditions quickly. I mean, you know how many times I'm in my medical school and I got a patient who went to TMC, Tucson Medical Center, but they're at Banner and I can't access the Tucson Medical Center's data. Well, guess what? That's going to fix the issue, right? Smarter, faster searches. What it does, physicians can ask medical questions in plain language. Because now what it ends up oh my God, guys, this goes back to Vivek. Because the problem is Cerner just works with Cerner, right? Counterpart Assistant has the API for both Epic and Cerner and Athena and all the other ones. And what it does is it brings in all that information from the patient record system, and it's able to give to a doctor. Oh my God, guys, I'm getting goosebumps. You understand what this means? This is what was missing in healthcare. You do have no idea. Doctors are on their knees crying right now of how much this is impactful. Do you understand how? Holy shit. And if this comes free for the freaking doctor who uses a Clover patient, but the doctor's going to say, please choose Clover Health as an insurance provider because they're amazing, right? Holy crap. Okay. This is just, you have no idea how amazing this is. Oh my God. I wish I had this. I wish I can use this tomorrow, right? Oh, Banner, please buy this, right? This is amazing, right? This is amazing. You understand how big this is? That means I don't have to spend time on freaking administrative tasks. I can actually, take care of the patient, which is what is all medicine is about. The art of medicine is taking care of a patient, not reading these damn charts, indirectly taking care of the patient. But let's have somebody else do it. Let's have an AI do it, right? So smarter, faster search. What it does, physicians can ask medical questions in plain language and receive AI-generated insights with freaking citations. Why it matters, reduce the time spent searching for records and help doctors make more accurate diagnosis. Highlight key data. What it does, AI highlights important phases, key points of the patient record system. This is very critical without scanning documents. Okay, now I'm sure you guys are basically going to say, hey, Al, right? What about PDFs that are non-text, are just scanned? Okay, that's fine. There's something called optical character recognition. It's able to turn images into text, into machine-readable text. Don't worry, they have this technology as well. This was solved many years ago, okay? All right, what else? Less administrative work. So automates routine tasks by retrieving and organizing patient data, frees up 28 hours, which is pretty damn good. So this is a pretty good thing. I hope this was helpful. Okay, so now we went ahead and talked about this. So now let's go ahead and do a market discussion, okay? Let me drink some water. All right. So this is a big deal. Okay, this is a very big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about this, okay? So this Friday, we have the February non-farm payroll. I'm looking at that. Good news is bad news. Last week on Friday, we had some bad news and the stock market rallied a little bit on that bad news. That's actually pretty good. So if the job reports comes back weak, this is good. There's a lot of cuts being happening right now with Doge. Federal Chairman Jerome Powell has a speech 12:30 p.m. ET on Friday regarding his economic outlook right after that jobs report. Very important. So the market in regards to impact of interest rate cuts. So right now, the market is expecting about 3 rate cuts, while the Federal Reserve earlier in the year indicated 2. The likelihood of a May rate cut is increasing every day now. Donald Trump is putting pressure on the Federal Reserve with these tariffs to essentially force them to become dovish. This is like the Trump put, and then now you have the Fed put. Since Trump is forcing Jerome Powell's hands to be forced to be dovish. He's forcing him to decrease interest rates. What happens when you decrease interest rates? You ultimately decrease the discount rate. Decreasing the discount rate increases the intrinsic value of a stock. Remember back to our discussion with discount rates? For folks that don't know what I'm talking about, it's part of the lesson systems in the educational division of the lifetime access for the AL Stock Trades platform to allow you to use the data that we have and make sense of it and make millions of dollars. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So if job data is weak, this increases the likelihood of a rate cut, benefiting the stock market significantly. Lower interest rates means lower borrowing costs for businesses and individuals, boosting real estate, refinancing, and overall economic growth. So White House goals. The current administration is eager to avoid a recession by pushing for lower interest rates. So this will reduce mortgage costs, energizing the housing market, lower corporate loan costs, encouraging business growth, and offset economic slowdown caused by the tariffs to reduce government spending. So I think this week we're going to get a taste of the federal put and also the Trump put. We're going to get the taste of these things. Likewise, we talked about the AA2 bull and bear index. We haven't seen these readings in a long time. And historically, usually if you go ahead and go to those time points where we're this basically bearish, the last time this happened was at these low points. It was just like, let's say bearish. These are bearish. The last time this bearish, it was a buy the dip opportunity. Bearish, buy the dip opportunity. Bearish, buy the dip opportunity. And if you look at a year out from these signals, especially this big one that we have right now, right here, the S&P grew approximately 15%, right? Crypto, again, over the weekend, President Trump signed some cryptocurrencies that'll be added to the strategic reserve. This Friday, we have the White House Crypto Summit led and hosted by David Sachs. But overall, there is a recession risk. However, I think this week we're going to look at the Trump put and Federal Chairman Jerome Powell put, which for folks that don't know what that means, because I get it, these terminologies. Where is this? So a Fed put. So banks have a Fed put. Do you know what that means? So you remember the concept? Too big to fail. So the Fed put is a commonly used term in financial markets to describe the belief that many market practitioners hold that the U.S. Federal Reserve, the Fed, will step in with accommodative monetary policy to, I don't know what that markets, specifically the U.S. equities, if prices fall too fast, too quickly. So again, this is why our platform is pretty strong, because you go to college and you get your MBA. This MBA is going to teach you from a textbook, right? Our material, we use real life examples that the market gives us in real time. And you could go ahead and look at the most successful economists in the world. Not a lot of them are millionaires or billionaires, because they just don't know how to apply the data, right? We take finance and accounting and we apply it in a way that is usable and how Wall Street uses it to make money. And ultimately, you can see kind of how successful we've been and the lifestyle changes that we've had. Okay. So there's that. So really quickly, let's go ahead and type in Clover real quick. This is quantum charts, right? So here's the cool thing with this now. So if you want to go ahead and take a look at analyst price targets, you click this button and you can see the price target for analysts, right? You can go ahead and do like the daily and do the analyst price target, and you can see the analyst price targets here. Or actually just go and do all time. And you can do analyst price targets, and you can basically see we're slowly nearing it, right? If you want to look at analyst estimates, you click this button. This gives you analyst estimates. You can look at the quarterly, you look at the annually. Then you could go ahead and, let's say, for example, look at the net income. You could see in 2026, they're expecting to be plus $130 million in net income positivity. That's huge. We'll talk about this later. But again, all part of the AL Stock Trades platform. You hit exit, brings you smoothly back into the AL Stock Trades technical analysis terminal. Again, this was hard to do. To make that, you see how smooth this is? This killed me. Oh God, that killed the crap out of me, right? Let's go ahead and do if you want to look at institutions, here are the institutions for Clover. You could see total invested. Look at the amount of institutions that bought in. I'm going to make some changes to this, make this a little thicker, the lines thicker. I like them thick, here, right? I'm going to make a little thick here. But you can obviously read this. This is, I like it thicker, right? Again, I'm designing this, right? So I'm coding it and everything. But yeah. So, oh man, I knew it. I knew you guys. I'm like innocent me, and you guys coming with that, right? But you could see the man, you guys are funny, right? You could see that the line has just crossed over the red, which means that it's statistically significant, meaning that this is a change this is stage 1 to stage 2, meaning that we are on the uptrend, right? So right now we got about $292 million invested in Clover. You see how sexy that is, right? I mean, just look how smooth that is. Look at that. Oh God, look at that. Okay. So you could go ahead and you can score it, and you get a bullish score of 6 and a bearish score of 3, overall bullish. Again, look how smooth this is. Oh my God. Oh, that looks so good, right? You know how long this took me? This took me so long, guys. You have no idea. Okay, I was gonna kill myself, guys. This took me so long. I was gonna bang my head on the wall. Literally, guys. I was gonna literally bang my head on the wall with this. This was so hard to do, right? But again, I worked my butt off for you guys, right? Which is why these prices are going to be increasing. So take advantage of this flash sale, coupon code FLASH, $500 off to get access to this. All right. So let's go ahead and do support and resistance lines. So we're at 364. We're trying to battle right now this region here. In fact, let's remove this for a sec. Let's take a look at this. So we got 364 here. Yeah, so we're looking at right now right around 364 here. Seems like a level, but we do Fibonacci's and we're looking at 362. Let's go ahead and look at the hourly. Give us a little bit more data potentially. So we're looking at potentially going down to 349 maybe, and that could be the rebound potentially, right? We could go ahead and do this. Look at that. Let's look at the daily, because the daily now gave us a nice drop. So now we can do some technical analysis. So again, who knows? I think maybe 345 may be the level of support we're looking at. We'll see. Seems like it's crashing down that. We'll go and do the weekly, and then below that, after that, we'll get 334, right? And then all time right now, this is a nice one. We'll see 339. So this is a pretty good one. This takes everything. So we may get down to 339. Who knows, right? 339, 350. But I think we're close, guys. I mean, you look at here, guys, we're close. We're getting ready for that oversold territory like we did here. So I think we're staging ready for a rebound soon. Okay. Now, very quickly, for folks that don't get it, this is the S&P 500, right? So this is the SPY, the S&P 500. And what I would like to do is just kind of hit it up with a support and resistance. So let's do the hour real quick, and this gives us a lot of data. So if we do the support and resistance, I think, we're going to be bouncing off of that 579. I think we've already bounced from this. There was a lot of level of support here. We can go ahead and look at a more long time frame, 2023. This gives you a lot of data. And I would say, maybe we can hit it up with a fib. Yeah, so I would say we're looking pretty good. This one is pretty good too. This kind of tells me a little bit about what we're looking at. We're going to add more data points too. Yeah. This goes back to 1993. The S&P, baby. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, so I honestly think we're pretty much here. Let's go ahead and go back to Clover real quick. Actually, let's go to Palantir. Actually, let's do Palantir real quick. We'll go Palantir again. Analyst estimates for Palantir. It automatically loads for you. We got the institutional ownership button. We can go. You can see how beautiful that is. We can go ahead and score that. You get a 7-2 score, bullish overall. You can see essentially where it crossed over. It crossed over at Q2 of 2023. Again, guys, this is a very powerful tool. Okay, and you have access to it. Okay. Let's go ahead and type in Clover real quick, and let's see where we're at with Clover. Let's go ahead and do an advanced technical analysis, initializing our AI engines. We got a bullish score of 3, bear score of 2. We got a 1 hour and a 1 minute downtrend, but the daily, weekly, and all time are on an uptrend. Let's go ahead and do a Monte Carlo sequence simulation. We'll go ahead and run all simulations, about 25,000 simulations, to where the computer can't handle it. So we just give you the statistics, right? And this is kind of the histogram chart that tells you the simulations of the price range, right? So the most available price range is this. The next level is going to be $3.65 to $7.22. So the bull case on the minute is 378, so upside by 3%. Bull case on the hour is 431, upside 18.29%. Bull case on the daily is at $6.78 with a positive 86% upside, and the weekly bull case is $8.28 with a positive 126%. And this, obviously, if you can look here, this projects out 100 days, right? So this projects out 100 to a year to 2 years out. So this gives you a projection, and it runs 25,000. See these lines here? It runs 25,000 of these lines. It literally runs 25 freaking thousand of these simulations, and it gives you usually, a lot of really cool math. And just to give you kind of example of kind of how would they look like, a Monte Carlo simulation. This is all part of the stock, the premium stock trades terminal. But, just to give you an example, this is kind of how it looks like, right? But, I don't graph it for you because your computer won't be able to handle it. But this is the simulations, right? It runs 25,000 of these, and it goes ahead and finds the best probable cause. And honestly, the best example of this I can communicate to you in an effective way is, if you don't recall, remember Dr. Strange, and you remember how he was basically, going like this, and, he's kind of freaky, right? But he was going like this, and he's trying to find the possible outcome. Well, this is, what you're basically watching right now is pretty much the Al Stock Trades quantum charts, right? It's literally going like this, kind of freaky, of like a freak of nature, just kind of going around and going, what's the price? What Clover? 7 bull case, right? And that's what it does, right? It goes ahead and runs this for you, does 25,000, sees the overall probable cause, and it gives it to you from every time frame. That's a very powerful tool, right? And that's pretty much the tool that, people jump in, they get it, they start running their own Monte Carlos within seconds, right? Again, 0 to hero. Okay. So we talked about this. Shout out to our new platform here. We got now the price to earnings and price to sales ratio. In fact, let's just graph. For the first time ever now, Clover Health is free cash flow positive. It's 80.89. They just released their 10K. So we're going to be able to get this data soon. From the quarterly reports soon. So we'll be getting that, and they'll be updated. It updates automatically. But just really quickly, let's just graph the free cash flow, guys. The free cash flow just went from negative to positive. You can see this arrow right there for the first time ever. I'm going to fix it to lower it a little bit so we can see. But overall, this is very bullish. Okay. The big thing here now is you can, because of these price to earnings and price to sales, let me see here. Yeah. You can go ahead and graph it, right? And now you're seeing that we got a price to sales compression in 2022. And then we had an increase slowly. And now we're starting to get a price to sales of 1.13. So this is a very powerful tool, kind of gives you that holistic perspective, right? And it gives you, all this data in just kind of one graph, and you're able to interpret it. Now, we haven't released this yet to our lifetime access. This is why prices are going to be increasing. This is very expensive. So let's go ahead and type in. Well, first off, let's look at Palantir, right? You run the confidence interval for Palantir. You run the analysis. And this is where smart money, turned bearish. And you can see the stock price was hovering around $13, and it basically dipped down to $6.42. Then all of a sudden, smart money turned bullish. And after 6 quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the stock price pretty much 10x'd, right? The stock price 10x. So you might be asking yourself, okay, well, you showed me the market sentiment intelligence for Palantir. Can you show me what the market sentiment intelligence says for Clover? And I'll say, yeah. So we'll run the analysis, and you can see the stock price actually was around $7 to $10. And then once it said it went bearish, and this gives you quarterly, so there's oscillates, right? And then it went ahead and went down to 60 cents. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what happened? Smart money on Q3 of 2024, they just turned bullish. So imagine what's going to happen, just like Palantir 6 quarters out, what's going to happen to the stock price, right? Again, this is a very powerful tool that we have. I'm sharing it with you all so you can see that, yes, retail investors can have access to this. Retail investors can thrive. A lot of mathematical, computational sequencing, and all you have to do is put in a freaking ticker symbol and hit freaking search and hit this button called run analysis. And then you have this at the palm of your hands. This is the power of the Al Stock Trades platform. And again, all lifetime access with their expiring coupon code Flash. You get access to all this. And I'm so proud of what we created. Here's the quantum flow chart. Kind of upset, really. We've been down, and we were going out of hell, and all of a sudden, here's the blue line. Then the green, which is the Al Stock Trades proprietary quant flow, sadly it went below hell, and now we're just trying to find our way out. And you can see this big massive red of C. This is selling. This shows you that people are selling. We got a lot of sellers, right? We got a sliver of blue here, green. So this can potentially mean we got some buying power. Remember, if you don't recall, it gives you buying pressure and selling pressure. And if you don't recall, in my quant flow video from many weeks ago, it showed you the buying pressures were at like 384, 312. You could see you see how accurate this is, right? So you can see from the monthly perspective, this thing is hell. This thing's red, right? And you can see that we're going red here, right? So this is a huge, reset, right? And you got that 3 months coming in, and we're just kind of going low now, and we're waiting for this thing to go above the blue line, and that's when we're going to climb out of hell. So, the next time we have levels like that are really green is around, $3.60, $3.50. So right around this. So anywhere between, 350 to, around like 320, especially $3, there's a lot of support coming, and that might be the rebound, right? 6 months in. So 3 months, you got 384, but we broke out of that. 6 months, we got 312. That's huge buying pressure at 312. And who knows, we may start that rebound soon, right? You can see there's a sea of red here, right? And you got that green again. This is all part of the Al Stock Trades quant flow terminal. See how powerful this is? This is how you read it, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the year. Again, you see, we're trying to become less negative. See how negative the Al Stock Trades proprietary quant flow is? And you see, ultimately now we're getting to this blue C here, which is around like $3.40, $3.50. How do you think I know what the support line was for here? How do you think I knew that? Because I used the Al Stock Trades proprietary quant flow. How do you think I did that? Right? So you see how I use these resources to make money, right? So here's daily, and then you could see. Let's go ahead and just kill all. Isn't that cool? Let's kill all that. Oh, look at that! It looks so good. We're gonna go ahead and kill all these things, and let's just look at this, right? You can see these fluctuations. This is the RSI and the simple moving average on our proprietary quant flow system. So you can see it goes up and down, up, and then there's little cycles that you can basically graph, right? So we're getting to a point where we're getting a support line here where it was right around November 2024, right around that at the end of that earnings report. Remember November? It's all tracks, guys. It's all part of the data. We're getting right down to this, right down. All data comes together, guys, right? It all comes together. So we're getting there, and it's starting to seem that we're going to start getting that buying pressure as soon as we hit to this level. Okay. And what I'm looking for is, let me go ahead and show you, is when this thing goes from negative all the way to positive to being green like this. You see, on that price spiked. I'm looking for that. And a good example is look at Palantir. See how Palantir went like this? See that? From negative to positive. Interestingly, now Palantir, it wants to fight it, but it's been going low. But you can see here, look, you see how I'm gonna just take a little screenshot here. And I'm just gonna go like this. You see kind of like how the stock price went low, but then you see this little blue line, green, that green shade, and then you got a bounce. That green shade shows you buying pressure or where the buying support is, right? So there it is, guys, okay? So now we talked about quant flow. Let's intrinsic value. We can go ahead and talk about CLOV real quick. Intrinsic value. We've done actually better videos about intrinsic value. Well, let's just be conservative. Let's make it 80. Clover's currently growing, let's say 9 point. Let's call it 9%. Let's just straight up 9%. You know, so bull case of 338, base of 248, but let's do 9.33. And you got a bull case of 346. So, you know, it's slowly getting down to its bull case, right? But again, we know revenue is going to grow to 37% because we have those AEP numbers. And the goal is what is free cash flow going to be? Well, let's call it 80 for now. We got a bull case of $24.74, a base of 16.63, a bear of 11.94, and a recession of $5.54. I mean, I know some people on here that'll be happy if it goes anywhere between $5 to, let's say, $7, not even at the bear case. I think there's people on here that'll be happy with that, right? For now, right? But you could see, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the sentiment. So what this does is it searches all the sentiment for Clover, and it graphs it using our proprietary methods and our machine learning analog. So right now, if we run the machine learning analysis, we're looking for Clover. It's mildly bullish. Let's go ahead and take a look at, so you can see we went bearish for a little bit, and now we're moved to the green. So we could be bottoming out soon. This is a good bottoming out thing. Why I like it is because look at here. May 2024, April, May, the stock price was 60 to 70 cents. And you saw this just crazy downward spiral in the Al Stock Trades proprietary sentiment analysis. Well, you know, this was a bottom, right? And you could see the Z-scoring method. It was really statistically significant. Well, look at where we are now. In fact, let's just look at all time and let's analyze it all. Guys, this is a pretty big signal there we haven't had before, right? So we're very bullish, and we'll see. This is 939 articles analyzed, right? That's a lot of articles analyzed, guys, okay? So pretty bullish. This is progression analysis, all part of, you know, all you guys have access to all this. This is the big one. This is a big one. Oh yeah, it looks simple, but this data is usually going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down because the hedge funds want to confuse you. But it's called math, guys. You can't confuse it. I just removed all of that noise. I said hedge fund, I removed all the noise, and I cleaned the data. And look how clean this data is. Look at Palantir. Look how clean this data is. You run the analysis, they turn bullish, stock price, look at that, right? So we cleaned out the data. And the sad part is retail investors don't have access to this type of information. Well, guess what? Now you do, right? This is smart money institutional investors are in blue. Dumb money retail investors are in red, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to here, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. This was a pretty long video. I hope this was helpful. Congratulations to you all. This is nighttime, so it's pretty impressive. We got about 54 people watching from Twitter, X. Appreciate you guys. Hit us with a like. We got 47 people watching from YouTube. Smash that like button. 101 people. Again, for folks that are interested, take advantage. We'll be increasing prices. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate about providing you this data. I'm very passionate about teaching you how to use this information. And the proof is in the pudding. Talk to the Lifetime Access members. You know, just like the Mayo Clinic mission, the needs of the patient come first. I use that mission for my patients, but I also use it for all of my members. The needs of my Lifetime Access members come first, right? All of you, you know, so that's kind of how I operate. And I want to build a community, and I want to infuse this community with the power of the Clover. I'm just kidding, right? With the power of Al Stock Trades, right? Right. The power of the Clover Assistant, right? I had to joke around, right? So I love you guys. Love you at Flores. Appreciate you guys. And definitely pro Clover due to benefits and integrated care, but really depends on strategic partnership to make it work. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Hey, Al, what does DeepSeek say? Clover, why does DeepSeek say that Clover wasn't? Yeah, so that's the problem, Data. You hit it right on the dot. Unfortunately, a lot of retail investors are going to use AI to pretend like it acts like a stock terminal, but you need reliable information. So unfortunately, DeepSeek is wrong, right? It's sadly wrong, and a lot of these large language models are wrong. You need something reliable, something that actually gives you the data that gets it directly from Wall Street. We have data centers directly on Wall Street. Okay. We take this data and democratize it to retail investors around the world. That's our mission. Okay. So that's probably what the issue is, right? And you could go ahead and look at through the earnings report and speak it from the, Peter, this chief financial officer of Clover. And he even said it's operational positive free cash flow, right? Operational cash flow. The problem is who has time to look through every other earnings call to hear that? Our platform takes this and integrates it for you within seconds, milliseconds, right? So good night, Clove to retirement. Love you, my friend. Love you a lot. You're so funny. And that's it, guys. It's always a privilege. I'm going to go ahead and get some shut eye. I have to wake up at 4 a.m. God bless you all. I'll see you on the next one.